This is for you if you're a parent. Now, most parents, I don't want to say most Cameroonian parents, most parents that are from my side of the world, my continent, most of us are trying to raise our kids just the way we were raised. Now, we have to understand, especially if we are not in the country, even those that are still in the country, we have to understand that things have changed a whole lot. Now, if you want to lag behind, that's all on you. Most of you are trying to raise your parents in a passive parenting style. By that I mean I know you're a parent, I know you buy clothes for your kids, you take them to school, you do all of these things, but are you really active in your child's life? Ask yourself as a parent. Most of us are doing the same things that we went through. We want to raise our children just the same way our parents raised us. Most of our parents were not following us to follow us to activities and take us to places, something like that. And we're trying to do that because we feel like a child will have to figure themselves out around things. No, things have changed a whole lot. Now, I want to look especially into some factors of passive parenting. Now, when we say that you parent passively, it doesn't mean that you don't provide food for your kids. Now, for example, your child comes up from school one day and tells you, "Mommy, I don't want to go back to that school. I don't like my school. She cries. Some of them even cry. And then you, because you're a very busy parent, you be like, "No, you have to go back to school. You're such a weak child. Go back to school." Say, "Mom, I have some classmates and some friends who are making me feel bad at school. They are bullying me," in other words. You be like, if they bully you, have to face them. Go on, that's you trying to avoid confrontation right there. That's you failing to address your child's issues in so many different ways. You could avoid this. When a child talks to you like that, listen. Be an active listener in your child's when they come with complaints. Be an active listener. If need be, call the teacher, go to that school and find out, especially if your child keeps telling you they don't want to go back to the school, they don't want to go back to class. Find out from them why. And if they tell you somebody's bullying them, don't undermine it as a parent. Go as much as you can go. If it means that you call off a day and go to that school and try to fix that, do it. It's going to build your child. Most of them will be like, "Oh, you're very weak. Is your child not in your class? You have to confront them." No, it's not happening like that. Try and be an active parent in your child's life. Don't be a parent. Another way to be a passive parent is when we make those rules and we don't, because our kids keep falling back on the rules and we kind of give up. For example, you need to make up your bed every time you wake up in the morning before you go to school. Your bedroom must be clean. Now your child does it day 1, does it day 2, day 3, she lapses. You come again and you talk. Then you do not institute consequences on things that if they fail to do, you have to tell them what you have to do and the consequence, and make sure you follow up on these things. A lot of parents will do this, they follow up and then they follow up on the consequence and the child keeps doing it again and then they just give up on that child. No, you're going to lose your child. You're losing your child right there. You are losing them, you're not building them. That's my point exactly. Now, when they break all these rules, reroute. Look for other ways to come around, and you can contact people. There are so many other people who are doing things about kids and raising children right. You can contact them, or you read online, talk to a therapist, go online and find people, talk to them. This is what I have done so far. This is my child's response to. There are people out there with a lot of these resources that will give you. So don't do another way of showing people, your kids, that you are a passive parent is when you undermine their emotional concerns or certain activities that they are daily activities. You undermine them. I would call such parents, I would say you're an indifferent parent. Yeah, you're so passive in your child's life that you do not even want to even acknowledge when they are going through some emotional things. I know how my child is always bubbly. The last one, she's a bubbly person. She comes jumping and talking and all of that. She wants to communicate. So I pay attention. Whenever she comes back or I come back home and I find out that she's so quiet, she wants to be by herself, then Ejang Charlotte Nange knows that something is wrong somewhere. Maybe she is sick. Maybe she is hungry. Maybe something went wrong. Maybe someone said something wrong to them. So try and be an active parent. Now, you being passive, it works for you because you kind of like give the kids the time that they need, and it also gives you an ample time, especially those parents that give their kids to their tablets and all these electronics. Now, you feel like it's okay giving them their time and it works for you because you have your more time, free time to yourself. Later on in the future, it's going to catch up with them. They will be a failure in their environment. They will not be able to handle conflicts and other things in their society. They'll have problems in their friendship. They'll have communication problems and also social interaction problems. So you as a parent, you have to keep an eye. I know of a situation where a child always complains. A child complains. This child keeps complaining that there was someone bullying them at their school. Yet the parent keep forcing, go back to the school just because they are busy. They don't want to, dig into things because they have their own other stuff. Let me tell you, your child is your number one priority. Their upbringing is your number one priority. You vouch to bring them into this world. You have to follow them all the way up until, yes, they're here now. They can take care of their own selves, and then you can stay back. So this child kept saying, somebody's bullying me at school. Somebody's bullying me at school. I mean, this is a story that a big brother of mine told me. Then I was like, well, I was supposed to talk about this. And I said, I will use this as an example. So this child, the parents like, oh, you are weak. You're such a weak child. Go back to school, face your friends and all that. You know what happened? This child was an 11-year-old and it happened here in the Western world. I don't want to mention the country, but yes, in the Western world, this child came back home, got bullied so bad that day. We don't know what happened. Came back home. The child hung himself on a ceiling fan in the house. Nobody even noticed. Before they could even come and realize that the child was gone, brother was dead and gone. This is when you are a passive parent. Things like this will happen. Make sure you try and be an active parent. You're an active parent in your child's life. You are there to support them. You can see the growth. You can see that when they're having issues, you know when to come in. Try and be an active parent 2025. Don't be passive. Don't be the parent because I buy them shoes, like making sure they have all they need, and that's not enough. If you must take them, because most of us are raised like that. Our parents are very passive in our lives. We are no longer in that space. Times have changed. We are no longer in that space. You have to be involved in one way or the other. Make sure that your impact is felt in your child's life. Follow them up. Be consistent. Don't be an indifferent parent. Be a parent that does not try to avoid confrontation, especially when the child comes telling you that she and the brother, they're fighting or something is wrong. And go and study out your brother. No. Call them and talk to them. That's you teaching them conflict resolution. That's you teaching them to grow to love each other. And you should implement that even outside home the minute your child comes and complains. Do not undermine when the child summons the courage to tell you that someone is bullying them. Don't just encourage them at home. My dear, go to that school. My dear sister, go. My dear brother, find time. Go to the school. You don't want to lose your child to all the money in your bank account. There's going to be a time when all this money is and you lost your child. You will be the one who will not live long, right? Because you've been disturbed. Well, be an active parent. Don't be a passive parent 2025. Charlotte Nanga, Ejang, Edmonton, Canada. I almost said Bangkok, Thailand because I live there. Bangkok is always in my system. And that's like a second home after Cameroon and then maybe Canada. Love you all.